What's up, legends? It's another week. Welcome back to Riddo's World. This is my second episode. Last week we kind of just went over an intro about what I'm kind of going to post on this channel, why I'm doing it, and to give you a recap, it's something that I've wanted to do for a while. I currently run a family business with my father, and we have two distilleries, one on the Gold Coast and one in Brisbane. It's a company that's growing fairly quickly for something that started as a very small business with only a couple of people. And this is just the journey of me becoming a better leader and kind of trying to showcase the way I'm trying to track my goals, the ways I'm trying to get better. And hopefully it can, there's some value in it for other people. They can see maybe where I'm going right, where I'm going wrong, and they can apply those things to their own lives, and maybe it helps and inspires some people out there. So that's really why I'm doing it. Today's episode, I kind of just want to go over my goals for the year, how I'm tracking them, why I have those goals, the different kind of tools and like simple stuff that I'm using to try and keep really consistent. I'm a big believer that like the discipline is the main part of success. Like if I can do something consistently for a very, very long time, that's what ends up defining the greats from the mediocre and the average individual. So for me, I'm really trying to stay disciplined and very consistent in the way I've been working. And so far, so good for the year, big talker 2 weeks in, but this is the plan, right? To recap on the goals, the overarching things are become a much better leader, become one of the best leaders in the world, a better communicator, and all around improve my fitness. So any way I can, lose a bunch of weight, just have some clarity, help with my health, all that sort of stuff. In terms of the smaller goals, some little ones that kind of go around and follow those patterns of the leadership, the communication, and then my fitness is, in terms of leadership, it's reading at least one book a month. Obviously, a lot of these are to do with leadership. I've covered one of them at the moment, which is from Jeffrey J. Fox, I believe, called How to Become a Great Boss. That was actually a really good book. It's really short, it's simple, it's fun to read because it's only short and concise little chapters. So I found that really helpful. The current one I'm going through at the moment is Dare to Lead by Brené Brown. I'm only about halfway through that book, so I'll let you know how it goes once I'm finished. But the goal is 12 this year. So anything to do with leadership, to do with business, just to give me a bunch of different perspectives. When you're not, I think because we're growing a business so quickly and we started really small and it's not well funded in the sense of like it's not a big corporate company where we can just pluck different really high skilled individuals from all over the place. I have to try and learn from what's around me and also just find other tools that I can fit into my day-to-day life where I can gain some extra knowledge. And I think reading books consistently is something that I've never done before, and I always struggle. I just fall asleep just trying to read anything. So, hitting 12 years is a big goal for me, and I think it'll help me just learn a lot about communicating. Reading, going through different dialogue, learning new words, all that sort of stuff will help with my communication and my speech and things like that. And there's a lot that I don't know, right? I don't know what I don't know. So I think reading books, especially towards business and leadership, will help me as we get on through this journey. In terms of communicating, this is a big part of that. I think the ability to look back at my videos every month or every week or the previous week will help me figure out where I'm going wrong in terms of communication. Am I over-explaining stuff? Do I not speak clearly? From the last video, I noticed that I'm speaking too quickly, and I'm still doing it now, and it's a habit that I'll be looking at changing. Am I clear and concise? Do I say and and use filling words too frequently? I think having the videos to look back on will help me tidy up my communication and figure out where I might be going wrong, and make it so that every time I have a conversation with somebody, I can understand whether I'm getting my point across, whether I can excite people and create some influence and all those sorts of things as well. And then lastly is, and to do with that communication, it's it's the books as well, it's the video, and it's wanting to speak in public. So doing any type of public speaking. So on my last video, I had One of my old school teachers actually reached out and say, hey, do you want to, it'd be cool for you to come and speak to my class. And I think that'd be really epic. So Shannon, please reach out. I think that'd be really cool. And any other opportunities that come up like that, I'll just say yes to and get out of my comfort zone in that sense. With the fitness side of things, my weight's always been over the shop. I've never had a problem like cutting weight really quickly. Like 2 or 3 times in my life now, I've been about the same weight I am currently, about 120, even I think my biggest is about 133 kgs, and I could cut down 23, 30 kgs in about 12 weeks. But what happens is it's just a big yo-yo, and I always cave, get undisciplined with my food, and then it all changes again, and then I'll get back on it, and then back and forth. So I'm trying a very steady training plan, and some of those goals around my fitness are longer than usual. So, getting under 100 kgs and staying there for 6 months is part of that fitness goal. Competing in a triathlon, and one that's of a serious, a sprint triathlon. It's not an Olympic size one, but it is double what I've ever done before. And the other ones I've kind of got away with doing minimal training, but this one I really have to be strict with the training, otherwise I won't finish it. So that's a big part of that whole fitness plan, is just structuring how I'm going to do that. There's also our 6 monthly challenges that we're actually doing at the distillery with all the team that's involved. And I think that'll help me kind of stay along the fitness path as well. Currently we're on a step challenge for January. So, whoever can do the most steps, gets a prize, gets bragging rights, all that sort of stuff. And a lot of us are very competitive. So I think that'll help me keep on track too. In terms of how I should go back to why I'm even picking these particular goals. One, it's out of massive interest. I have an interest in being fitter and healthier for myself, for my partner, for my family, for the general well-being of my life. I have an interest in being a better communicator, because I think that it will have a huge impact on the people around me, and same with being a better leader. I think if these 3 main goals, and I can do them consistently, and I can progress strongly over the next year, I think it'll change my life drastically, and I think it'll change a lot of the people around me, watching me kind of implement these different parts into my life. And hopefully we can see how we can interchange different goals into this similar structure, and anybody can use it. The way I'm tracking them is really simply, I have I'll bring it up now actually, try and use a split screen. So if this isn't working, I'll just explain it. I have simple spreadsheets on a Excel document. I have my weight loss one. It's just what my average weight, and I just plot it out every day. It goes up and down, and it's just a gauge. So once every morning I'll get back from the gym, because I weigh myself in the morning. I'll get back from the gym, I'll hop on my laptop, and I'll go through each page on my Excel document and fill in the details that I need to fill out. So there's this weight one. So pretty simply, it has each month. At the top, it says when I started out, what the goal is. So, under 100, I'm just going to pick 99. And then every day I just plot in the weight, see how I'm tracking. So far so good. There's a couple of days where it's kind of go down and then up, and it'll kind of happen like that, I guess. I've just been away this weekend, so I'd say it'll be up again, and then I'll be back strict and consistent. The next one is the content creation side. It's super simple. These aren't super flashy, super pretty spreadsheets. These are just things that I can track. I can fill them out quickly, and I can look back at the data. For the content creation, it's how many subscribers have I got, because the goal is to have 1,000 for in the whole year. I just want to see roughly how many views are in 2 months after I've posted a video. I want to understand the length of the different videos, what might be getting more views, what might have had a bigger spike in subscribers, things like that. The titles of the videos, so I can see kind of what topics I've gone over and discussed, and then kind of the time it's taken to edit it or get it up. And so, kind of look at an ROI in terms of how much time we're spending on editing. Should there just be more raw and we can just get the information out, or, things like that. I got a simple calories one. I only started really doing that this week because I had a few events coming up. So I was just went away with my partner. We had a couple of dinners, things like that. And I just wanted to kind of have a general idea of how much I was eating, because it's going to be a lot more on some of these days, and making sure that I was trying to compensate with working out, which so far so good. I've then got my running and swimming. So I'm training really consistently, running 3 times a week, swimming 3 times a week. And they're just progressive loading style of training. So of training, I should say. You know, my running started at 60 seconds on, 90 seconds off. Then I went to 90 seconds on, 120 seconds off. And it's following pretty much the couch to 5K framework. And then in terms of swimming, even with the running, actually, I got the idea or the training methods, both from it's like a triathlon YouTube channel. I will put it in the description of below for this one, so you guys can like see what I'm using and how I'm kind of going around that. Got the monthly challenges, so this is the one for the distillery, just January, so it's the most steps, and we're just tracking every day. So just look at my Apple Watch data from the night before, plot it in, just keep an eye on how I'm traveling. Screen time, I think I've started tracking screen time just on a weekly average because I want to make sure that I'm not getting caught up looking at too much Instagram, too much TikTok, too much bits and pieces like that. And I just want to make sure it's tracking down and not in the other direction. I'll probably add like a notes section to the right hand side of this just so I can see, you know, I can add in some notes why it might have been larger. Was I traveling? Was I on the plane? Did I watch Netflix for 2 hours? Like whatever it was. I then got one on savings. That's mostly just personal stuff. I can just track it, see what I'm spending money on, see what I'm drawing savings out for. Am I pulling savings out for things that are aligned with my goals? Say, okay, I'm pulling money out of savings to pay for triathlon entry. Am I pulling money out of savings to enter a new gym? Am I pulling money out of savings to buy new equipment for these types of videos? That sort of thing. And then I've got the books. So the book is it'll just be the title of the book, how many pages it was roughly, how many days it took me to finish, and the author. Just simple data. I can just look in, I can plot it. Now, some of this data is like really helpful. I can plot it, we can look back at it, and it's also just, I like having the thing to plot out in. It's being something that's helpful for me to stay accountable to myself. So when I get here in the morning and I have I read 10 pages of my book, because that's generally what it is. It'll depend on the size of the book. For the Brene Brown one, it's 10 pages a day for the month. Read the 10 pages, and then I go through my goals spreadsheet so I can kind of plot out what's happening. It means that when I look back, okay, if my weight's up, it just triggers that thing in my brain of like, okay, shit, I need to figure something out this week. I need to make sure that I'm not snacking too much. I need to make sure that I'm staying committed to my food, staying disciplined on the food side. If it's for the videos, I haven't posted anything this week, I need to get something done. Same goes for, the monthly challenges, plotting it all in. Okay, I've done no steps today, or I've done 5,000, I should have done 20,000. It just, every single day, it's a point of accountability where I can be like, have I done what I'm supposed to do? And so far, it's been really helpful. Another thing I want to share too that's kept me really dialed in for my morning routine is this app, which I'll do the screen recording of and you can have a look at as well. It's Routinery, I think is how you pronounce it. I'll put like you should be able to see like the app structure anyway when I add it to my phone when we do the screen recording. But you basically just plot out your day. So you can set it as an alarm, it'll wake you up. Does like a quick in and out breath when you wake up, and then you can put time allowances for each little step of your morning. So for me, I run it up basically until I am heading out of the home. So by the time I'm getting Archie ready and I'm leaving the house to take him to kindy, that's like all the time block. So it wakes me up at 3. I've allocated a few minutes to get ready. I've then allocated time to like take my supplements in the morning, get all my stuff together, fill my drink bottle, put my shoes on. Time allowance to drive and get to the gym, a time at the gym, time at home. I've even like timed in a toilet break, as funny as that sounds, timed in reading my book, and it just made me really consistent. So for those of you who follow me on Instagram, when I used to get to the gym, it could be anywhere. It could be like 3 on the dot because I'd wake up too early. It'd be 3:25, 3:24, 3:40, 4 o'clock. So it was kind of all over the shop. But this has kept me really dialed in because it sets up just a timer and it starts. And if it's on 3 minutes, it'll give you a notification. So it'll send one to my watch. It'll do a verbal one if my phone isn't on silent, and it'll like tell you to move to the next step. Like, so it keeps you just moving really consistently. once my days get potentially a little bit more structured, or on days that I can have a more structured setup, I think I'll use this for like time blocking and be like, okay, 15 minutes, we'll do this kind of work, check emails, do whatever. We'll do R&D in these 2 hours, and so on and so forth. I think it's a really useful tool, especially if you're terrible at setting up any type of morning routine or staying disciplined with that sort of thing, because it's easy to make up excuses for yourself and you get all in your head, oh, well, I had a big day yesterday, I'll just sleep in. You might have gone to bed the same time, but you thought, oh, but it was a really big day. Oh, I can just shuffle some things around tomorrow. It just keeps you out of your head in that kind of sense. So it's been really useful. These are the kind of things that I'm using at the moment. If there's an update to the tools that I'm using, or like how I'm tracking things or what I'm tracking, I'll let you guys know. So you can just follow along and see if it's been helpful. If there's things that I remove, I'll also bring it up and I can chat about it in the comments of wherever I post this video, socials, YouTube, etc. Look, if you guys find this really helpful, it means the world if you like, subscribe, and then share it. You never know who it might help or inspire or anything like that. So appreciate you guys. Cheers. See you next week.